That's Realize Your Potential with Mike and Travis. We are picking up where we left off last week. We were beginning the discussion of the value of help. Really, really important. I want to jump right into it, but please like, share, and subscribe. Got to get that out of the way. But Mike used an analogy last week about a car to really describe the difference between professional help. So a consultant, a coach, or a therapist. Mike, take us through that really quickly if you could.
Yeah, for sure. So a consultant is going to they're the person who's going to identify, oh, you don't know how to drive a car. I'm going to create something. Maybe it's a handbook or a manual that's very specific to what your needs are. And I'm going to develop it, and then I'm going to hand it over to you. And then hopefully you know how to make it happen. And usually there's trainers attached to consultants that can sort of help you along with that.
Mm-hmm.
A coach is going to be someone who's in the driver's seat helping you explore maybe some more interesting ways to get unstuck around how do you put the key inside the ignition and turn it, or what are some creative ways that you have your foot on the gas and you can hit the brake at the same time, etc. A therapist is going to be someone who's exploring with you, why has it taken you 25 years to learn how to drive a car? Because you have extreme anxiety and you're fearful around driving on the freeway at night.
Yeah, and all important forms of help and all will unlock different things inside of you, right? And the reality is there's no shame in having any of those issues, right? Like, hey, I learn differently. Like, I just want you to tell me the answers. You know the answers. I've tried coaching before. It doesn't work. Just tell me how to drive the car, right? Awesome. Hey, you know what? I think I'm almost there. Like, I think I got it. So let me get a coach, right? They're going to help me get over the finish line. But I think I'm there. I think it's in me somewhere.
Yep.
Or a therapist, like, I know I have the physical capacity to do this, but I haven't, right? And so I think, like, that's one, it's an amazing analogy, Michael. Great job.
Okay.
But two, I think that it's really important for people to identify what kind of help they will need and use the appropriate help. So I think that's really important. And so last week, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, let me just make a comment to that too. I also just want to share that depending on who the professional you're working with, they should also have a keen ability to help you identify if what they're doing is outside of their scope, right? So
I like that.
So if you're coaching someone and you're like, there's a lot of more emotional stuff that's involved here that might be tied to some sort of, faulty cognitive thinking or something like that. Maybe you should go see a therapist. Or, if I'm seeing someone as a therapist and what's going on really isn't meeting medical necessity in regards to what they have going on is like impacting these major life domains in ways that therapists should be working with someone, then a coach might be reasonable, or even a consultant, so.
Yeah, no, nailed it. Really, really great point. Take that away, team. That's fantastic.
Yeah, because as a therapist, like I'm always trying to work myself out of a job. I'm trying to get someone healthy and out the door.
No, and that's what it should be. It's all about help, right? That's our goal in what we do. That's truly why it's called the value of help, right? So really good point. So we were going through an article that we read, which is in the comments below, that really talked about the value of personal trainer. Why would I need a personal trainer? And they really came away with 7 points that we really loved, Mike. And so we were on number 3 of that. The first 3 were not getting results, don't know where to start, and then I'm looking for a challenge or growth or a learning opportunity. Now, before we continue there's another article which is also in the comments below, which was from Inc.com. So it's basically about CEOs and big companies. And they really talked about the value of having a business coach and how very successful people, from Oprah Winfrey to Bill Clinton to Obama, really tout the value of having a business coach and how it helped them rise to the success that they had. And it really talks about if you're not where you need to be. And that's why we like the parallel of personal training, because it basically says, hey, if you're not where you need to be, it might be time to get a business coach in your life that's going to help you, right? So really, really important. I think that ties in really well to this article. that's a short read, but you can see how really successful people have used business coaches in the past. So check it out. It's in the comments to get kind of a full scope on that. But let's get back to these. So number 4 is if you have a specific issue. So why I would need a trainer or a coach or a consultant, I have a very specific issue that I need coaching with. You literally just talked about this right now, right? About the value in someone's expertise. But why do you think that's so important if I have a specific issue that I might want to get a professional to help me out?
Yeah, for sure. Because I would be able to relate more so in terms of what's going on, maybe be a little empathetic in terms of what you might
Mm-hmm.
be going through, have shared experiences, right, in terms of how maybe I overcame it, but also being able to know what types of questions should I be asking to help either pull out, develop, or nudge you in a direction to where, you know, ultimately where you're trying to go based on, you know, what we have with your coaching plan, what you want to achieve.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The fifth one is accountability and motivation. And this is one of my favorites. I, I you I know you can have mentors in your life that kind of give you that, but the reality is when you're paying somebody money, you tend to have a different level of accountability, right? Because this coach is basically saying, you're going to pay me regardless of whether you do the activity or you don't, right? So they're going to, and you can't run from it, right? They care about your success, but they're not in love with you, or they're not your, they shouldn't be in love with you. It's conflict of interest, but they're not your best friend. So a lot of times, and I don't say they don't care about your feelings, but they're not there to care about your feelings, right? They're there to help you reach your goals, which is accountability and motivation are huge there. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you deal with that with your clients a lot, right?
Yeah, but let me share an example of when I had an executive coach. Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely. I would love it.
being being
Go
being on
ahead,
the
preach.
being on the other side. So,
Yeah.
you know, I met with this gent. I think it was once a month. So leading up to that, of course, we had activities and things, you know, that he would say, hey, you know, be thinking about, you know, what you're going to achieve with this, and then we would reflect back on, you know, how was that experience. But I remember that leading up to that actual date and being mindful of it, I knew that, you know, me having this person, it's something that I wanted to get out of it. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't want to waste my time. I definitely didn't want to waste his time. And it sort of, and it motivated me to be able to, oh, yep, I got to do this. I committed to this. This is sort of, you know, what my plan was. And like you said, Chad, like there's a different level of motivation around making sure, I mean, just for myself, you know, like what I wanted to get out of it, you know,
hmm
because didn't want to waste his time, definitely didn't want to waste my time, you know, so.
So the next one on the list, Mike, is training for something big. So I'm
Mm,
actually, I really love this one because I've had a couple of clients that I've really focused with where they were really focused on, okay, I've got to win this promotion. I got to get this job. I need to
mm,
get to something. And I really feel like if you're going to expect people to spend money on you, so give you more money, or you're starting your own business, but you're not willing to spend money on yourself, then that's a question that you have to ask. Is it really, am I really worth it? Am I really worth them spending money on me if I'm not willing to spend money on myself? So I think that that's
yep,
really, really key. And so if you're training for something big, this could be the changing point of your life. This is not the time for you to say, well, I'm going to do it on the cheap, right? Make sure that you impact your life, because if you change your life, it could change your financial situation. It could change your level of happiness. It could be, if you reach your passion, it could be a really great thing for you.
yep, it can be
Yeah,
paramount.
it could be life changing. And then the last piece is support. And I know you talk about this a lot, or philosophically, I know this is really important to you. What does that mean? Support with your clients, or why is that so valuable? Is to have that support.
Yeah, I mean, it's to point out your blind
hmm
spots, right? It's to get feedback on things that, you know, you're messing up on, right? Or I mean, or it's someone who's going to give you feedback where other people are just not going to give you feedback for whatever
Hmm.
reason, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, or there's a power differential in the relationship to where it would be weird, right? So, having someone that you're paying to have an unbiased perspective on what's going on, like it's invaluable.
And I feel like, I mean, and maybe these last two are kind of combined, right? Which is I'm doing something big and support, right? But I think about it in this way, right? You're a strong guy, you work out, you got muscles and all that, you know what I'm saying? But if I needed to push a boulder up a hill, it'd be great to have Mike support me, and I'd probably get up that hill. But what if I had someone whose job it was to push rocks uphill, right? And who had done that for years? They were in strongman competitions and all that stuff. And I had to
Mm-hmm.
pay them. I had to pay them. I'm pretty sure I'm going to reach my goal, right? It's no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to reach my goal, right? And if my goal is big enough, if that moving that rock to the top of the hill is really, really important to my life, then I definitely want to hire that person for support. So I think that that's really important to keep in mind. As these, go ahead,
And
Mike.
I really like that example because paying someone for a very specific thing, they're going to have the specific tools, they're going to have the specific skill set, and they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
efficient. And there's a higher likelihood that they're going to nudge you in the direction that you need to. That you'll be able to pick up as much as you can from that.
Absolutely. 100%. I'm so excited. I know if you guys are looking at the 7 things that are on the screen right now, hopefully you're writing these down, incorporating them into your life. I think these are 7 ways to look at it and say, when I need help, is it fall into one of these specific things? And then you can go through the process what Mike talked about, which is how do I identify what type of help I need? But I know I need help in this area because it's something really big, right? And I got to fix it. And so I might need a therapist to help me through that, or whatever the case may be, right? So we do always offer our services after every show at www.realizingnow.com. We do focus on coaching and consulting. We do some training as well. But as you'll see from the guests that we bring on this show over the next few weeks, they're going to have these are people that we've paid to help us, right? And we've spent money on them, so they're going to have an opportunity. If you see one of them and you're like, hey, I really like that person, I vibe with them, I'd love to get help from them professionally, awesome, and reach out. What we're saying is get the help that you need, and whether that's unpaid, so that's just from your support circle, hey, I need better friends, I need a mentor in my life, right? Like, cool, that's fine,
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome, right? And that might be all that you need. If you need professional help, please don't be afraid to seek it out. It can be so impactful, right? And Mike, any kind of closing thoughts around that?
Yeah, and I apologize if I said it before, but I want to reiterate: finding a professional is going to help you determine, hopefully, if they have the ability to do it, what type of help you would need. So people are sort of saying in their scope of competency,
Mm-hmm,
right? Which is
mm-hmm,
important, and that's what paid professionals should be able to do. The other thing I want really people to take away is going to be getting support is going to give you fresh ideas, hopefully a different perspective, and really nudge you in the direction that hopefully you're going around with what you want to achieve professionally.
yeah,
So
yeah, good stuff,
yeah,
good stuff. Hey, Mike, what should they do? I mean, we're at that point in the show. What should they do if they really love us? Mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm,
subscribe,
mm-hmm.
comment,
Say,
say something.
hit us up, right? We made it to the end of the show. We nailed it yet again. I mean,
Yeah.
stuck the landing. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Mhm.
Um, we've got just so many great guests coming over the next few weeks that
Really
oh
excited about
gosh,
it.
I think they're going to talk to you about how they've helped others, how they've received help, and it's going to be really, really cool. And then we're going to end this series with a special guest who's going to talk to us about, she was already at a really high level, and then it was like, I need help, and she took it to a whole nother level. And that discussion, I know the people I've kind of ran the idea around are really excited to hear from her. I know we're super excited to hear from her, but it's going to be a really cool
Mhm. Yep.
perspective of man, my game is at an A level, A minus. Man, I want to be A plus. What do I got to do, right? And
Yep.
it's a really cool story that she can
So,
share.
yeah. Yep. We're gonna be talking to someone who's been coached.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get their
Yeah, so
perspective.
it's gonna be
So.
really cool. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. See you next week.